Fuel Subsidy Rationalisation. That's probably the most dreadful phrase you'll hear this year, because it basically means we no longer get to enjoy cheap fuel. We will now have to pay in full price. Diesel was the first to take the hit. It used to be a jolly RM2.15 per litre. It is now RM3.35. That's more than 50% increase. Petrol will be next by Q4 this year. Oh well, it is for the greater good because it saves our country a whopping 4 billion ringgit a year, and that's diesel alone. There's really nothing much you and I can do except to save fuel. But how do we save fuel? Is it a car? Is it the weather? Is it a driver? Or is it the fuel itself? For that, we speak to some friends.
So, as the Prince of Thrift, how do you save fuel?
So to me, one of the most important aspects is at the actual braking itself. So when I say braking, it's about planning your drive, having a safe distance between yourself and the car in front. Because if you're too close, then you're constantly on the brakes, you're re-accelerating again. So it's all about inertia. The car has a certain weight. And when it has a certain weight, you have to actually burn fuel or re-accelerate to bring it back to speed again. So if you can keep a constant throttle for as long as you can, that's when you start saving fuel.
So, as a Japanese KOL living in Malaysia, how do you save fuel?
なんで実際ここにいるの？しかもみんなも私のうちなんだけど。So I actually don't have a driver's license, so I don't drive at all. That's how I save the fuel. Smart. Yeah, but my husband, he drives. I make sure that he always stops the engine when he's waiting for me.
Right, that's how you guys save fuel.
Yes, but I actually like refilling the fuel because I get to, get the snacks. I get to have some drinks over there. Can I say the name? The pet. Oh, okay. Just a green one, green station. We always go there to refill.
So, as a Malaysia motorsport athlete, how do you save fuel?
Wait, I can't see it.
Usually I drive at a constant speed. The optimum speed below the speed limit is between 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. Anything more than that, you actually use more fuel because you're going through compressed air, so you'll need to punch through the air and require more power.
You lost me at below speed limit. Leona Chin drive so slow, meh? Below speed limit? Sure not.
Yes.
So, as a gym freak and also a car guy, how do you save fuel?
Well, I would make sure that my tyre pressure is properly inflated because you want the right amount of contact patch on the road. Because when it's underinflated, the contact patch is larger, and with that, you'll create more rolling resistance, and eventually it feels heavier, and thus it will burn more fuel. So I guess always check your tyre pressure, all right? And no, don't carry unnecessary weight. Because when the car is heavier, it burns more fuel. So tell your mother-in-law there's no more space in the car. Bro, enough with that. 超干.
Can lah bro, can. Kasi, Chan, 超干, yeah, 超干.
It's okay.
Those are really useful tips on how to save fuel. But AutoBuzz being AutoBuzz, we want to really make sure it's the legit way of doing it. So let's hear it from a fuel expert, an actual expert.
Hello, my name is Eric Holthusen, and for I think the last 35 years I've been working in fuels and lubricants technology, mainly at two big companies, one in Shell where I was responsible for part of the fuels program for V-Power, for example. Later on I worked for Petronas as CTO in their lubricants business, A good and fun period in my career was the Formula One responsibility in Petronas, where from 2012 to 2020 we achieved 8 world championships with our fuels and lubricants.
So Eric, as a fuel expert, how do we actually save fuel?
Let's talk about the answer that the friend of yours gave, and I must say they are experts and they know a lot about saving fuel, and I wish everybody would know as much as they do. Let's start with the fact that every time you touch your brake, you destroy energy, yeah, because your car is already rolling. If you don't have to brake, don't brake. Drive defensively, have a far-reaching look ahead, so that if you see that other people brake, just let your car coast. I was driving to Putrajaya on the Elite, and I had a car in front, and it was not congested, but we drove at 60, 70 probably, and the car in front of me kept braking and braking and braking and braking. So I counted the times this driver braked, and he touched the brakes 20 times, while I didn't touch my brake a single time. He could have done the same as me, and he would have saved fuel. And this is what I mean. Every time you touch the brake, your fuel consumption.
Not only is annoying to the person behind, also he has to pick up speed again and put in more fuel to move again, to fight the inertia all over again, right? So that's a no-no.
And we can then go into something which I would say smooth and constant speed driving. You don't push the throttle, go back, push the throttle, go back, push the throttle, go back. No, you try to drive at a constant speed. That is the best driving mode to have low fuel consumption. Your engine runs in one point, and that is optimal. Right. And this speed should be 80, 100.
80 to 100, yeah.
Yeah. Because if we go higher, we know that the wind resistant, it goes up exponentially with speed.
Well, in Malaysia, because we have really nice highways, our drivers like to go really fast as well. So is it advisable to go fast on the highway?
With all the thrill and fun you probably get from driving a bit faster, it goes to your wallet. Yes, the fuel consumption will go up. Stay within the speed limit. Stay, if you can, below 100. I think that's a good speed, optimum fuel consumption.
Right, drive slow, save money.
We live in a hot climate and we enjoy aircon, but just think about it. If you don't really need the aircon, if you don't really need the engine running, switch it off. Because you burn fuel for nothing. Yeah? You don't move. So while you're waiting for your partner to do shopping or whatever, if you don't need the aircon, if you can endure it, then switch off the engine. Tire pressure is a very important factor. I think it's underestimated how important that is. Not well inflated tire have a very high rolling resistance, and as such you will need more fuel to move the car. So regularly, I would say at least once a month, go to the station when you pump your petrol and check your tire pressure. Optimal. Don't put too much, don't put too little. Have the optimal that is prescribed in the manual of your car, and that will ensure that you enjoy the best fuel economy that the car can give you. And sometimes even you drive behind somebody and you see that the tires are not properly inflated. And that's a clear indication that somebody's not taking care of it.
That's money there. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Exactly. You're wasting money that way. And it's easy. It costs you 3 minutes or 4 minutes, 1 minute for each tire. And it's well invested time.
It's lighter and easier to drive as well, the car. Yeah.
I know you said lighter, yes, of course. The other aspect is the lighter the car, the better your fuel consumption. My best example is always golf clubs. I see a lot of my friends driving around with their golf clubs in the boot, and they play golf once a week, and for 6 days a week they ferry around 20 kilos of sports equipment, which is not required. Maybe people need to be educated a little bit more that every kilo you put in the car will show up in your fuel bill, because weight needs energy to be moved. So take the weight out. And as your friend says, good excuse to leave your mother-in-law at home as well, because you save fuel.
Yeah. Don't forget your mother-in-law,
There are a few more that probably have a big impact. One is roof racks. This also comes to weight, but also to wind resistance. So wind resistance and weight together. If you have a roof rack, you need it, you go on holiday, yes, of course. That's what you should do. If your holiday is over, you don't need it, take it off. It will cost you a lot of fuel because of the wind resistance that it generates. Plan your journey. Avoid congestion if you can, because the more you get stuck in congestion in traffic, the more fuel you will waste, because your engine runs but you don't move the car. Again, coming back to tires is part of maintenance, but there's more maintenance. There is your engine. Keep your engine healthy. Keep it running smoothly. That means use a good quality lubricant. Change your lubricants at the prescribed time. If you don't change your lubricant in time, if you use a low quality lubricant, the viscosity of the lubricants will go up. Higher viscosity of a lubricant in an engine means more friction. More friction means more fuel consumption. It's as simple as that.
But what about fuel? Nobody seems to have mentioned fuel, including yourself. Does fuel affect fuel consumption?
Fuel has a small effect as well, and particularly if you look at a bad fuel in the market and a high quality fuel. In Malaysia, we enjoy a lot of big brands in the market who have high quality fuels. Amongst those high quality fuels, if you use one of those, you are safe. Let's bring it back. We've talked about a lot of the elements. The driver is by far the biggest element. All these fuel, lubricants, weight, tire pressure, they're all small little things that add up. If you drive fuel economically, look at all the elements that we discussed today, you become a very good fuel efficient driver and you save money.
So guys, at the end of the day, it all boils down to you.
It's you.
So, there you have it. You've heard it from the Prince of Drift, a Malaysian motorsport athlete, a Japanese KOL, a gym freak, and also a fuel expert. You should know what to do by now. And if you follow these rules, you'll be able to get a smoother drive, which in return saves you fuel and gives you more mileage.